Human trafficking. Victims are subjected to force, fraud, or coercion for the purpose of sexual exploitation or forced labor. It's happening in Thailand, Cambodia, United Kingdom, Germany, the Netherlands, Mexico, Brazil, Canada, Australia, China, Japan, Ghana, Poland, Senegal. It's happening right here. The United States is a source and destination country for thousands of men, women, and children taken captive against their will. In the United States alone, more than 244,000 American children are at risk of child sexual exploitation. Within 72 hours, a child runaway is propositioned for sex right in your neighborhood. Don't see it? That child on the swings at the park could be a victim. That woman who jogs by on your street could be a victim. Your server at your favorite restaurant could be a victim. Open your eyes. It's happening right next to you.
Good morning and Happy New Year, sorors. Welcome back to another episode of Crimson Table Talk. I am your host, Nicole Griffin Wilson, and this is my co-host,
Tina Haskin.
And we're here today to talk to you about a very important topic that has been in the media recently, and that's human trafficking. And the thing is it's been prevalent for many, many years, but it's becoming more prevalent today as this heightened awareness to all of our viewers out there today. So we wanted an opportunity to just kind of sit down and get up close and personal on the topic. So we have a few speakers here today, a few guests, and we're going to allow them to introduce themselves before we dive in.
Hi, I'm Kirsten. I am a nursing major and I attend Northern Illinois University.
Hi, I'm Christy.
Hi, I'm Giera. I'm a pre-nursing major at University of Illinois at Chicago.
Hi, I'm Kayla. I'm an exercise science major at Eastern Illinois University.
Hello, I am Tyon Banks Tillman.
Hello, I'm Hannah Norwood. I'm a criminal justice major at Harris-Stowe State University in St. Louis, Missouri.
Well, thank you ladies for introducing yourselves. Do you want to just dive right into the conversation?
I think that'll be good.
Okay. So, as we know, human trafficking is a huge epidemic here in the States and abroad. What are some of the things, or what are your feelings around human trafficking? What are your thoughts? Is it scary for you? Do you think it's a big issue? Do you think people are being hypersensitive? Is it just propaganda, or is it really something that we need to be vigilant about?
I would say that sex trafficking has become more common, and I believe that it's more real today. Like, growing up, the main things that we really had to worry about were like the rumors about clowns and things like that when Halloween came around. It wasn't really like, protect yourselves and like the importance of being aware of your surroundings and things like that. Like, growing up, we could walk to the store by ourselves or walk to and from the bus stops and things like that. But now, as women, and specifically being black women, I think that it's extremely important for us to understand the importance of being aware of our surroundings, our identities, and the risks just associated with day-to-day life.
Yeah, I mean, originally when the topic first came up, I saw it on social media where I feel like a lot of us now find a lot of our news. It wasn't that I was ignorant to the fact that it was going on. I just personally didn't think, being, in my bubble and being where I was in Charleston, I didn't really see it as a huge threat to myself personally. And then, you saw more and more stories about people going missing and girls being found in trash cans and just, being displaced in different areas, and it became more real. That's what I feel like a lot of people are ignoring the topic because it doesn't relate to them in their area, which I feel like is a big issue in our community because we desensitize topics like this because, I live in the suburbs, this would never happen to me, or I live in California, we don't see things like that. And I feel like that's why it's becoming a big epidemic now, because people aren't being vigilant and aren't paying attention to where they are, or aren't, being more careful than they should be.
I agree. And as a parent, it takes me back to my youth. I was able to go outside, I was able to go to the store, I was able to walk the neighborhood, go to the park, and as a parent now you find yourself really trying to monitor everything that your young people are doing. Where are you? Text me when you get there. I need to know when you get back. I need to know when you get in the car. And a lot of times you try to explain to the young people that I'm not trying to hover or be overbearing. I just need to make sure that at all times somebody can put hands on you and that safety comes first. It's just a different day and time. You know, we had our own issues, and then as a parent of children growing up in the suburbs, you look at things a little different. I grew up watching my surroundings. I grew up knowing what was coming and always being aware. And sometimes, you know, now we find we have to teach that to our kids. It's not something that's natural for everyone. So it's just very important for them to be aware at all times as to what's going around and know little things. You know, something simple as somebody handing you their business card. We shouldn't, I don't need your business card. Give me your social media page. I can find you on social media. So you have to be watchful of, or those people coming around, can I wash your windows? You just have to be very mindful. Or people saying that they need help. They're using any type of tactics right now to put hands on young women. And you have to really be able to think quick on your feet.
I feel like now it's like you said, growing up, we didn't have to worry about this stuff. Like, I remember, like, I was asked what's my worst fear when I was young, and it was like spiders or clowns and stuff like that. You ask young girls now what's their worst fear, and it's being snatched, and that's any woman's fear, any teenage girl's fear. It's just, it's coming closer to home now. Like, you never thought something could happen to you, something can happen to your mom, something can happen to your friend, and you just see it more and more and more, and it's hitting closer and closer in our communities and everything. So.
All right, so we're going to take a brief break, and when we come back, we're going to dive more into this conversation.
Today, if you saw somebody chained to a post, you would do something about it. But in the days of the transatlantic slave trade, it was a normal sight to see. It isn't as clear today of what modern slavery looks like, but by knowing the signs of human trafficking, you can help protect yourself and you can help protect others. Traffickers would often brand their victims with tattoos, using words such as daddy or cash. Trafficking victims may show sudden changes of dress and behavior. They may suddenly have possessions that they usually can't afford. They may have unusually long work hours. Victims may have new relationships with boyfriends or girlfriends that are noticeably older, and I'm not talking about a few years. Difficulty with making eye contact, especially with men. Victims may have untreated medical problems, such as cuts, bruises, burns, broken bones. They may miss school frequently, make frequent trips. Victims may be unable to speak independently. Other people may insist on answering questions for them, or even translating for them. Victims may even be frightened of authorities, seeing them as the bad guys. To request help or report possible human trafficking incidents, please call the National Human Trafficking Hotline, 1-888-3737-888, or text info or help at BeFree-233-733.
Welcome back, Sorors, to the next segment. We wanted to continue our conversation on how do you develop or how do you raise your young person, your teenager, your child to be vigilant, to grow in discernment, to know when someone's motives are off, and how not to be victimized. So I don't know, like, to me, I just kind of just know, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just that, like, you off. Don't come close to me, like, no. And you create that boundary. But I guess if you don't know it inherently, how do you, like, what do you look for?
this might be kind of stereotyping, but I judge. If I see, like, my school, okay, so NIU is DeKalb, but people from Chicago, everybody, mama and cousins, brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews is in DeKalb. So not only am I a senior, so all my 4 years I see the same people, but like if I see somebody that I don't know, you know who's at your school. It's a weird way of saying it, but you know who's at your school. So if I go to a party and I see, I don't know who this is, but I see how he dressing, which is judging, but I don't care. I judge. So if I see how the way he looking, like the way he dressing, and then I see who he hanging with that goes to my school, I stay away. Like I be like, all right, look, I'm good on that, cause you kicking it with him. He just got a case. Yeah, you with the mess.
You know, I like what you said when you were talking about how you judge, and you threw that like caveat in there, not to say that somebody in a suit and tie wouldn't do it. I think it's very important for us to realize that that might be the type of individual who would victimize you. You know, one of the things I say, and people be joking, I think I'm joking when I say this, but like at the airport, when they tell you to take your shoes and your coats off, but then they say the older people don't have to do it. I'm like, them might be the ones you need to be watching. You know, like, I think if that's going to be something you're going to do, it needs to be done across the board. Because there are older people who are victimizing individuals. I mean, they use them outside. They will, you know, pretend like their car is broken down, and then their grandson or whoever jumps out and snatches you up. You know, so you never know. It's everywhere. So you always have to be aware of your surroundings. You know, if something's out of place, be mindful of that. But you know, trust no one. In my opinion, that's how I look at it. Cause you never know who.
See, like when we out, my friends say I pick up on everybody's vibe. Like I'm not the type of person who talk a lot. I observe. Like even like if we out, people's body language speaks to you. Like not too long ago, we was at a party and it was this girl who she just didn't seem right. Like she was dressed up real nice, she was real cute, makeup, hair done, but it was just something about her that was off. The way she walked or talked, like sometimes people's body language tells you like what they on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if we sitting here talking and you steady shaking, or every time I'm looking you looking over your shoulder, or every time I make eye contact with you turning away. Like it be the little stuff. Like no, like I can't be next to people who can't sit still. Like why can't you stay in one spot? Like what's going on? And every time the TV come on, you getting up and running around the room. Like why we just can't be chill? Like, you know, some people, and people might not, you know, believe, but some people's spirit just don't be right. Like you could walk into, you know, someplace and you be like, oh, okay, yeah, like you get like a sick feeling, or just, I feel like those are your instincts. Like when you go somewhere and you just don't feel right.
It's like you said, like you have to always be vigilant of your surroundings. It's like, I remember just past recently, me and my friend were coming from a party. We went to the gas station and grabbed snacks. We were hungry. I go in the gas station. I'm not paying attention, and usually I'm paying attention, but I just got done coming from this party. You know, a lot was going on.
Yeah, tight.
Yeah. So I go in the gas station. I'm going to get snacks. The gas station is literally like 2 buildings from the school. So she's pumping gas in her car. I'm coming out. Something's telling me somebody's watching me, but I'm just like, nah. I'm just tweaking. I'm tripping. So I'm walking towards the car, and she was in her car. She gets out. She like, hurry up and get in the car. I'm like, girl, you tripping, what's wrong with you? She like, just hurry up and get in the car. I get in the car, look back, it's a man, a car with 2 other boys in it, and a van is blocking like the view from the gas station in her car with curtains and everything. So after I got in the car, that car drove off, the van was gone, the man was gone. And you know, you just always have to be vigilant of your surroundings, because that could turn into a whole different situation.
I just want to thank you ladies for taking the time out of your busy schedules to just meet with us and have this open table discussion to the parents here. We definitely enjoyed your insight. I mean, there's a number of things for us just to be aware. Human trafficking doesn't have a name. It doesn't have a location. You know, it affects everyone. It's even in our own backyard. And we definitely have to be aware of that. So I hope you take this conversation and the tactics and everything that was shared with you today and you utilize them as you approach, your day-to-day lives. It's not just happening at, clubs. It's at the grocery stores, the libraries, the coming out of the beauty shop or the beauty supply house, the barber shop, you name it. And so we don't want you to be afraid, but we definitely want you to be prepared. And so you can go out into the hall and get some of the literature and the free gift that we have for you. And we appreciate you for joining us today on Crescent Table Talk. You have a wonderful day.
The signs are everywhere. Sometimes you just have to take a second look. Human trafficking is modern-day slavery, and it happens in our own communities. Victims can be any gender, age, or race. Join the Department of Homeland Security's Blue Campaign to learn how to recognize and report this heinous crime. Your second look could be their second chance.